to First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. This was the scene a few minutes ago. The dog pound in full roar as their Browns emerge from their tunnel. They're ready to go as they get set to match up with Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Right there, 56. Let's get it together, defense. Let's get it together. Hurry. Reset.
Now the third leading rusher among rookies last year, it's Nick Chubb. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
56. That's right, hurry.
They go with Chubb on second down, and he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Mayfield on first down. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Shaquem Griffin, he was relentless there as he hits home for the sack.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. Give him 6 on the run. They're going to be faced now with a 3rd and 12.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
All day, just like that.
They go play action. Mayfield. And he's got his man. That's Landry. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 23 yards, the final tally.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. The first carry for Trenton Cannon. And they get him behind the line, so that short gain on first down quickly negated. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
180. You got right. Hey, what's the
Working out of the gun, Mayfield gets it to his running back, Cannon. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good, and this will remain a scoreless game.
Partner, doesn't seem like it, but that's a tough spot for a kicker. First drive of the game, and they're calling on him. He should be warmed up. He should be into the game, but sometimes it's almost like, oh, what now already? Can't they put it in the end zone? What's going on here?
Yeah, he's probably saying, if you can't get it in the end zone, can you give me a 30, 40-yarder? A long one, and he can't connect. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first.
First down, Seattle.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Let's go, Heavy. Let me what you got. What you got?
Wilson going to fake the give and keep it himself. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line.
Okay, Brady, I see you.
And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. This guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Now it's Carson. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up 1st and goal.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
315. Check 99. Check 99. Rush in. Rush in. Rush in.
And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds, right at the 3. A good run of 6 yards there gets him closer to the goal line with 2nd down coming up. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll try to run with Carson. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Chris Carson, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Jason Myers now for the extra point. And this will give the Seahawks a 7-0 lead.
Makes the score Seahawks 7, Browns nothing. Jason Myers.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. On 1st down, they go right back to Hunt. He's got daylight. He's at the 30, the 20, and all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Kareem Hunt, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you score points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Now he's forced out right. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
An incomplete pass leads to second and 10 from the 25. And that is intercepted by the Pro Bowl quarterback Denzel Ward. The return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got deep.
Now a loose football. The ball comes out.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. On second down, it's Hunt about 3 yards there to the 27.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
These two teams all tied after one.
It's a short tie, 7-7.
180! Line 54! They're not ready for this.
Third and short yardage. Mayfield. And it's complete. Hooper. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on third down.
17 yards. And the Browns.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
And 10 at the 10-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's second and 10.
Give me that ball, defense! Give me that ball!
On second down, this is Cannon. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
On the carry, it's Cannon. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. It's a 6-yard pickup, but still a few chain links short, it appears, with fourth down coming up. The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches.
Get off the field, defense.
They'll try and run for it with Janovich. And he'll barrel his way into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Andy Janovich, his first touchdown on the year. And the Browns have taken the lead. Here's Seibert now to add the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
And the Seahawks first down.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Wilson going to fake the give and keep it himself. He'll find Metcalf. And now off to the races, down the right side. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. DK Metcalf, his 9th touchdown of the season, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. The extra point now coming from Myers. And we've got a good one brewing. We're all knotted up at 14. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match in a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
You talked about the need for them to establish the run early. They've been able to do that here in the first half.
And that means that the whole offense has adopted that attitude and that persona. We're going to take care of this young quarterback. Let's all get together and run it and take the pressure off.
They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on 2nd down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there and set and change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well. Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Wilson going to fake the give and keep it himself to the right side and complete to Metcalf. 10 yards and a Seattle first down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
They'll run on first down. Carson, and good downhill running. He's got 6 yards down to the 13.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
On second down now, it's Carson, and he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it first and goal.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game.
We got work.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And he is going to lose yardage here. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
I think there's one element that just keeps increasing on defense in the NFL, and that's speed. They want it at every position, and we just saw there some linebackers who can go sideline to sideline, run past that trash, go past people, and make tackles near the sidelines.
And not only near the sideline, but also in the backfield there. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. Russell Wilson with his 13th touchdown of the year and second of the game, as his guys are able to regain the lead. Extra point up and through by Myers, and the lead is now 21-14. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards, as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Browns drive about to get started. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of sixes back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. First down, Mayfield. He finds Taylor, complete. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
I'm going to run you.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. He'll let it go deep for Beckham, and that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
I'm laughing to myself because I could just hear in film session. But, Coach, I was throwing to Odell Beckham Jr. Of course I thought he was open.
They'd love to go deep downfield to him, though, such a threat.
Yeah, a rare incompletion because most of the time we expect him to actually come up with the catch.
And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46. It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on third down.
3 down, 3 down. Staying open, staying open.
The first thrown out for the backup, Keenum. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect it. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you got the lead.
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for a Browns TD. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away.
The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, and ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now it's Wilson. And quick throw here, that's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. First down, Seattle on a pickup of 13.
A gain of 13 yards.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. So, Charles, tie game here. What are your keys as we continue to play this second half?
I know people think it's always trite when you say the same things over and over, but they're tried and true in the game of football. Who's going to block better? Who's going to tackle better? In this case, to me, it's turnovers. You've got to take care of the football in order to win the game.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. To throw is Wilson. Flushed out right. And he comes back with one complete. And he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the first. They'll get 11, but still a little short. Fourth down. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Yeah, this is away, and I don't think Landry will get a chance to return here. That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off, and he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
They will get 4 yards here on the first down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now it's Hunt. And brought down, but not before reaching the 25. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Space to maneuver at the 40. And he'll finally be taken down at the 2-yard line. A big run by Kareem Hunt, 73 yards. Well, this game's ripe for the taking, and that run, I think it means he wants to take it.
Not only does he want to take it, he doesn't care what they're going to do on the defensive side of the ball. You can be prepared for him. He's coming at you anyway.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. They'll try and run it in with Janovich, the fullback. And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield.
After a play like that, there should be congratulations all the way around, I think, because if you can stop a big fullback like that, that's not easily done.
Yeah, he does not go down easily. You're right, but he did there.
Here 52. Get out.
On 2nd down, it's Cannon, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
It's now 3rd and goal.
They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal. On 3rd down, here's Hunt. And he's in. Touchdown, Browns. Kareem Hunt with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year, as his guys have now moved out in front.
But they decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times, that's a passing play.
And the kicker, this has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Wilson going to fake the give and keep it himself. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly.
We got to step it up.
Wilson going to fake the give and keep it himself. Here's Carson with a catch out of the backfield. 22 yards there, a 1st down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
2nd and 9 at the 40-yard line.
Hey, Mike 51, Mike 51. And watch that, and watch the block.
Throwing again here, Wilson. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. The D-tackle, Sheldon Richardson, came barreling in for the sack.
But enough takes to start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Wilson to the Seahawks, looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. From the gun, it's Wilson. And that is incomplete.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. And that ball's going to angle out at the 3-yard line. A beauty.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. They'll start on the ground with Cannon. And he was very fortunate there to get out of his end zone. He maybe got back to the 2-yard line. The tackle there by Quandre Diggs.
2nd and 10 at the 2-yard line.
And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's the Browns football, and they've got the lead here as we start quarter number 4.
Drop deep, drop deep.
They go again with Cannon, and he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Bringing up 3rd and 12.
The Browns on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd down and 12. Out of the gun, they run it with Hunt. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. Here's Jamie Gillen now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick. Here's Dorsett. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field.
Let's go. Alert.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
2nd and 11 at the 45-yard line.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Alert. 25.
Now it's Wilson. Blitz coming, and down he goes. The sack coming from Adrian Claiborne off the edge. That's number 4, sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. And the pressure gets to him again. Sheldon Richardson picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Let's go.
At their own 14-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. 27 yards there, a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
On first down, they'll run with Hunt. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Call it a loss of 6 on the play. And it'll be a 2nd and long.
Here we go, D. All day, defense. Down.
Now it's the backup Keenum. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. This a very important drive, and that incompletion leads to a very important 3rd down here if they're going to try and get the football back.
Yeah, getting it back, absolutely crucial to their chances to try and win this game. I would expect a lot of pressure.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play-action sack. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes the better punter may actually determine the outcome.
Wilson going to fake the give and keep it himself. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. First down, Seattle on a pickup of 13.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up the block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They run it with Carson. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't he?
Check. Hot. Hey. Mike 51. Check. 51.
Wilson to throw. This is caught at the 8. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. The previous play, they barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Now they pick up over 30 yards. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7. But first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. Carson, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and goal.
At the 7-yard line.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And yes, he's into the end zone. So they get the late score they needed. And now the extra point can tie this thing up in the final minute.
And while it appears the heavy lifting was accomplished by scoring the touchdown, they're still down 1. That extra point is not a gimme.
A very important extra point there, up and good. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. So right back to square one, tied at 28 as he kicks it away.
The Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. In a tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Keenum. He's going to let this one go deep. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left.
Incomplete. It's 2nd down and 10.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10.
Single, slot. Hey, take 53, 55.
They'll run with Hunt on 2nd down. He's got the 1st down and more past midfield. And brought down across the 50 to the 49-yard line. And here come the whistles and a timeout with 7 seconds left.
1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Here goes the high. Grab Queen. High. Let him know.
Keenum now to throw. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. He was trying to get it to Taywan Taylor. And now it's 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Running with Hunt here out of the shotgun. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick 6 or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Cleveland offense ready to go. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. They'll run. This is Hunt. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable third down, because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Throwing on third down, Keenan. Over the middle, complete. That's Cannon. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Charles, any chance they go for it here?
I think that there's a chance. They have to consider it because of the way they played offense in this game. I mean, look at the scoreboard. Look at the points that they put up. They feel confident that they can keep it going. But the risk is, and the downside is, you don't get it here, you've set up your opponent in really good field position.
Dorsett on the return. A good return there, 17 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Yeah, part 1 is done, now part 2.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down.
But that's all about doing the dirty work right there defensively. 2nd and short yardage, that's all about plugging those gaps, not giving the running back a crease to run through, and has a nice job to hold them just a couple and force a third down.
And for the Browns, a nickel set here on third down. This is Carson. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 10 yards and a Seattle first down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Wilson going to fake the give and keep it himself. And an alley to run. And he'll score. Touchdown, Browns.